My name is Beatriz Otero, and I go by Bibi, and I'm the Deputy Mayor for Health and Human Services in Mayor Gray's administration here in Washington, D.C. I was born in Bolivia, in a landlocked country in South America, and I came to the States when I was about 10 years old. I had already a rich language and a rich culture. I think that has played a very significant role in our lives. Our parents were very adamant that we maintain our culture as we became Americans, that has, I think the language has been for me one of the most significant influences in retaining the language and the richness of being bilingual. I started early on as a school teacher in education in the District of Columbia, and quickly realized that the need for families to be engaged and families to be supported in order for them to be able to support their children and ultimately be in a community that was healthy was a really critical need in the city. So I developed a nonprofit organization called Centronia, where we provided child development and after school and family support services, and it really has become a renowned organization nationally. In 2010, Mayor Gray then tapped me to come into the government and share along with him the passion that we both have for community service and community work. Well, the challenges in growing up as a young immigrant in the city, and I'm sure it's the same in many other cities. You come in as a young person into a school system where you don't know the language, you're not familiar with the culture. You may find that the folks around you aren't familiar with people who come from other places. At that time, the school system was not very well equipped to deal with us. Later on in my life, as I moved into professional work, I had more than one occasion where when I applied for a position or for a job, I was told, we don't have your kind and we don't want your kind. Those are the kinds of issues I think that came up in my life that really strengthened my resolve to make sure that there were paths for other Latinos in the city. The Latino community in DC is a community that is incredibly rich. This is where the immigrant experience of the metropolitan region pretty much began. In Adams Morgan, Mount Pleasant. DC's Latino community created a number of institutions. You have La Clínica del Pueblo, Mary Center, Carlos Rosario, Bell Multicultural High School. These are major institutions that now serve the general population, not just the Latino population. And they really have created a grounding for the broader metropolitan Latino community. So we should be very proud of the Latino heritage in the district. Education, education, education. I really do believe that the path to us making sure that we can attain positions that are positions that will influence policy, positions that will influence the direction of much of the political environment in the district and in the region is making sure that as a community we develop and are educated in order to compete for these kinds of jobs. And most of all, we really need to make sure that we are helping our young children understand the value of civic education and civic involvement.